Hi friends, welcome to my channel. So after doing today's vegetarian meal prep, I am just sitting by the pool and chilling. So you might be hearing some background noise. So why wait further? Let's get today's video started. And surprise for you guys, today's video is a collab with my very good friend Shiri. She is also doing a vegetarian meal prep along with me. So bonus for you guys. So before starting this video, let me introduce you to my very good friend Shiri, and then after watching my video, my vegetarian meal prep, do check out her video as well. Let me introduce you to her.
Hello, welcome to Sri's Heaven on Earth. I'm Sri, of course, and I'm also very happy and excited to do a collab with Mohini. And about me, I live in Dallas with my husband and 2 kids. My son is 10 years and my daughter is almost 8 months. So it's I think Mohini's baby is also same as same age as my daughter. And the main thing is we always do similar content, so I'm sure you will enjoy my channel too. So if you like it after watching Mohini's channel, please come and watch mine, and if you like it, please I would like to stay with me and subscribe my channel and support my channel too. Yeah, so if you plan to stick with me, then I'll see you on my next video. Hope enjoy our collab and our videos too, and thank you for watching. Bye.
Her channel link and video link is in the description box, and I hope you guys extend the same love and support that you have extended to me to her as well. So do check out the description box and her video after watching this video. Okay, no more delay. We are getting started now. What we are going to do are these highly nutritious protein packed protein balls. I have been binge eating them throughout my breastfeeding journey, so they are very good to satiate hunger and very good for those sweet cravings. They are very low in sugar, very healthy, full of nutrition, and I just eat 2 to 3 throughout the day. Let's get started. In a pan, I'm dry roasting some almonds, some cashews, some walnuts, and some pecans. You can take any dry fruits that you want. People even add peanuts to them. I'm not adding it because I anyways eat peanut butter on the side. Them just a little bit on a low flame till the cashews change the color. I'm telling you cashews because in all other pecans, walnuts, and almonds, you will not notice the color change, but in cashews, you'll notice the color change. So, just when the cashews start to turn brown, stop the gas and let it cool down. In another pan on the side of it, I'll pour some ghee, and I'm going to be roasting some edible gum in it. If you have not tried edible gum before, you should definitely try it. It is very rich in vitamin D. It helps you treat anxiety, depression. It is very high in calcium. It is very good especially for women, because after a certain age we tend to suffer. We have very high chances of getting osteoporosis, which is weakening of the bones. So it is very good to have edible gum in your diet because it is full of nutrition. Also, in this recipe which I am making, edible gum is very important because it will give that crunchy and that little bit of the sticky taste. Not much sticky taste. It might sound, oh my god, sticky is not good, but trust me, when the edible gum is mixed with dry fruits, it tastes so good. Edible gum is a must in this recipe. You can go 1 or 2 less on the other dry fruits which we previously roasted, but this edible gum is a must. Also, if you're adding edible gum, it acts as a binder in making these protein balls, so you do not need to add too much butter or too much ghee. It acts as a binder as well. So in this particular recipe, if you want it to taste really good, edible gum is a must. So we will dry roast in on a low flame, medium to low flame. You can see that the burner is towards the lower side, and keep on roasting it, stirring it. One thing you have to be careful is that it gets roasted pretty quickly, so just make sure that you are not leaving it side and you are constantly stirring it. It gets roasted pretty quickly, so you do not have to roast it for very long. Just make sure that you're roasting it on low flame. Gum will puff up like this. That means the edible gum is perfectly roasted and you can turn the gas off and let it cool. Meantime, my dry fruits have cooled down, so we'll go ahead and put them in the blender and grind them and empty the pan because we need it for something else. While these are cooling down, we'll start roasting our raisins. I have taken here 1 cup of raisins and I am sauteing them in some ghee. You can even use some butter if you want. And now I'm adding some dates. Luckily I got dates which were seedless, but make sure that if you have dates, you de-seed them first before sauteing them in butter. Now with the raisins are very sensitive, so they get puffed up very quickly as soon as they puff up. Turn the gas off and make sure that you are sauteing them on very low flame. Now this is the crumbled dry fruit powder. We'll mix them and put the raisins in the jar to grind them. Dates are very important for this recipe because they act as binding agents. Here I am using 20 to 25 dates, but you can add them as per your taste. My palate is not that sweet, so I'm adding less raisins and less dates. But if you like more sweet, then you can go ahead and add as much dates and raisins as much as you want, because these are the main flavoring agents in this recipe. Now I am roasting some oats over here. Now this is completely optional. I am just adding these oats to extend this recipe more. The oats have started to brown on the sides. That means the oats have roasted. I am dry roasting the oats over here, but you can roast them in butter if you want. That is completely up to you. I am dry roasting them over here. You can extend this recipe by mean you can stretch this dry fruits and mixture, this protein balls, by adding as much oats flour as you want. I add around 1 cup of oats flour and 1 cup of wheat flour to stretch this recipe to make even more protein balls. Edible gum had cooled down and now I am putting it in the blender to grind it. This is how the grinded edible gum will look like. Put it in the same mixing bowl in which you put the dry fruit crumble and your raisins and dates blended mixture. Everything will go in the same bowl, mixing bowl. Basically we will be grinding everything and putting them in the same bowl. Here I am roasting some wheat flour as well, again to extend this recipe even more so that I can make more protein balls. It's completely up to you. I am roasting 1 cup of wheat flour. I am dry roasting it. With wheat flour you have to be careful because it tends to burn very quickly, so you have to stir it constantly and you have to be very watchful of it. So do not leave the stove while you have wheat flour on the stove. So here I'm dry roasting some wheat flour. Again, this is completely optional, only to extend this recipe. Wheat flour is very sensitive, as I told you already. I'm adding some tablespoon of ghee because it is healthy. Everything will go in the same mixing bowl. Adding the ingredients which I told you are must are the edible gum, dates and raisins. Everything else is completely optional. You can just according to yourself add the dry fruits, but these 3 ingredients are very important. Adding the oats flour, and it's very important that before mixing this mixture with your hand, wait for this mixture to cool down. Adding some brown sugar because I've added wheat flour, their combination is very good, so I always add some brown sugar whenever I using wheat flour. Here I'm blending everything with my hand. I always like to use some gloves when I'm working like this with food, because in the middle I have to run and take care of my kids as well, and I don't want to wash my hands again and again. But one thing, keep in mind, always wait for the mixture to cool down first because it is hot. The dates and the raisins mixture will be very sticky, so make sure that you break it down with your hands. Just scrub it like on your hands and mix it with everything else thoroughly before you start making those protein balls. This is how finally they will look like. I made around 40 to 50 of these from that mixture. They are small bite-sized ball, like a tennis ball size, and I always keep around 10 to 12 on my countertop. Whenever I am hungry or I'm feeling low in energy, I eat 2 to 3 of these every day. They are very good. As I told you, they're very healthy. Preparing some bread rolls. Bread rolls are very good for meal prep because they freeze amazing. I have already boiled and mashed some peas and some potatoes. There are 3 potatoes in there, Idaho potatoes or white potatoes. I think yellow potatoes, I don't know what they're called, but they are not russet potatoes. They are the round yellow potatoes. 3 of these and 1 cup of peas. I just boiled them and I have mashed them nicely, and I'm adding spices, some black pepper, some salt, and I got this Italian seasoning. I'm not adding traditional Indian spices because I'm bored with that. And these potatoes taste very good with that Italian seasoning. I got it from Costco. So I am just mixing everything. You can add spices, whatever you like. I just like them on a little bit less spicier side. More of the salt and potato taste should come out. They shouldn't be seasoned very heavily. I don't like that. I season them very lightly, but I make sure that I'm adding some fresh cilantro in them because that taste comes out very good. So here I'm mashing everything till everything comes together. Make sure all the spices are blended nicely. Take white breads. Take white breads. Do not take brown breads. Bread rolls taste good only with white bread and deep fried. Don't do baking. Don't try to be healthy with bread rolls. They will not taste good. I have tried everything. So make sure that you're cutting away the sides as well, because if the sides are there, they don't close properly and they don't fry properly. They tend to open when they go in the hot oil. They will open up from the sides of the crust. So make sure that you remove the crust. Also, you can see that I'm not throwing away the crust. What I do with the crust is I keep them in a Ziploc bag and I grind them in my grinder and store them away. This is how I make my homemade breadcrumbs. So do not throw away the crust. Use them to make your own homemade breadcrumbs for other cutlets or pizza base. Now we have some breads ready. Crust has been taken off, and now I'll start making the bread rolls. So dab it with some water, flatten the bread out with your hand, then take a spoon and place the filling in the center. Just dab it a little bit and close it. Make a cylinder out of it, roll it, and just tag it on the sides with some water. Take some water and use it to close the sides and close everything. Even if it doesn't close properly, there is no need to worry about it. You just don't move them too much when they are frying. Just leave them in the oil for 30 seconds without touching them, and none of it will come out. Just make sure that the crusts are removed and you are closing them with some water at the end. Everything sticks together, nothing comes out. I have made this a lot of times. So even if the filling is oozing out, need not worry about it. Just dab it with some water all around it and press it gently and make a cylinder out of it. Only thing that you have to take care is while frying, do not move them around too much and they will come out perfectly fine. One other way is to place the filling diagonally and start closing the bread rolls diagonally. So you can do whatever you like. I try both of them and for me both of them come out perfectly fine. Here I have already fried some of these. So make sure that when you are putting them in the hot oil, you are not moving them too much initially. Only when they start to brown up, only then you move around. Otherwise the filling will come out, they will open up and all of the stuffing will come out. So make sure that you are not moving them too much in the first 30 to 45 seconds when you put them in the oil. They are frying nice. You can see the temperature is around lower to middle because bread tends to fry up very fast. So make sure that the temperature is on the lower heat, less than the middle My knob is around 4, so make sure that you're frying them on that temperature. If you want to heat up the oil, let it heat up for like 20 seconds and then again turn the heat down. It shouldn't be too hot, otherwise they will burn. This is how they finally look like, and they freeze amazing. Couple of days after prepping these, I pulled them out of the freezer. This is how they look like. I even made some potato cutlets with those breadcrumbs. I grinded them in the grinder, made some breadcrumbs, made some potato cutlets. You can pop them in the microwave for around 30 to 40 seconds. This is how they look like. Here I am prepping some veggie idlis. I already have an idli batter ready. If you want the recipe of idli batter, it is out there. It is very simple, so I'm not sharing that. Here I'm crushing some freshly roasted cumin into the batter. If the cumin is freshly roasted, it gives so much flavor. So always try to put freshly roasted and then crushed cumin. I roasted some cumin on a pan and then wait for it to cool down and crushed it with my hand. Here I have some microwave roasted tomato. I'll just crush it with my potato masher and just try to take the juices out. Also in my idli batter, I do not add extra water because the veggies already have so much water, they release water, so it anyways becomes diluted. So I do not add any extra water to the already fermented batter. Here I'm adding some mashed tomatoes. I added around 3 mashed tomatoes because my batter is huge. It is the largest mixing bowl that I have. Yes, that is the amount I make every week because they are very good for snacks, very good for breakfast and everything. Now I'll be putting in one very large onion. This is a very large onion. It came out around 3 cups of chopped up onion. Yeah, it's around 3 cups of chopped up onion, so you can see how huge my batter is. I have a lot of batter. You can add any veggie you want. These are the veggies I'm doing this week because they are sitting in my refrigerator. Tomatoes are going bad and I had onions left from a couple of months back and I feel it was going bad, so I just take all the veggies. If I want to clear out my refrigerator, I take whatever veggie I want and I just put it in the idli batter and mix it. So here I am mixing it. Just give it a nice whisk. Again, while filming, I did not realize that my hand is coming in front of camera, so guys, ignore it. I'm just whisking it. Time to add some spices. Add just a little bit of salt. It does not eat much salt because it is fermented. Adding some coriander powder. I don't add turmeric in it because it does not cook much and don't want turmeric to be raw. Again, I'm putting it some ginger garlic paste. So I already had a big batch of ginger garlic paste in my freezer and it is dwindling now. I have used a lot of it. So what I do is I put the ginger garlic paste out of the freezer for like 10 minutes and I just use my knife to scrape it off. It cuts like butter. Yes, so if you want to use ginger garlic paste, frozen ginger garlic paste, you can just put it out. I always make a thick brick and put it in the put it in my freezer, and whenever I want to use it, I take it out, put it out for like 10 minutes and just scrape it off. It cuts like butter. No need to make those cubes and just cutting it off. It's too much work. Just grind it and put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer. No extra prep needed. So again, my hand is coming in the front of camera. All I'm doing is just mixing everything up. Now it's very important to just let the batter sit so that the veggies can come together. In the meantime, we will start greasing our idli pans. I already made a batch because everybody else was hungry and they really wanted to eat idlis. So I already made a batch and I forgot to film it. So here I'm putting in my next batch. Just grease all the idli sections and pour the batter and steam it. This is how they come out. Don't forget to grease them and always wait for them to cool so that they really just pop out of the sections. They just really pop out of the molds. Wait for them to cool down and don't forget to grease the molds and they are very good to freeze. I always freeze them, and when I want to use them, I take a wet paper towel, wrap the idlis in it and put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. If you don't use a wet paper towel, all the moisture will be eaten by the microwave and they will not come out spongy. Also with the batter, I made a lot of utpams on the side because you have seen how much the batter I had. Also they come out really good, especially the onion utpams. Made a huge batch of utpams as well for the breakfast next day. We had idlis for dinner. I froze a big batch as well, and we also had utpams for the next day. So batter comes in very handy for quick meals, easy meals. I always keep it in my refrigerator. So these idlis will be going in the freezer. I'll just put it in a Ziploc bag and pop them in the freezer. And here are all my molds soaking in the water. They'll be easier to clean later. And also I made a lot of utpams for breakfast as well. The shape might not look very good, but trust me, they tasted really good. So this is how the frozen idlis will look like sitting in the freezer. I'll take a closer look in a better light. This is how they will look like sitting in the freezer. That will be all for today's vegetarian meal prep, guys. Thank you for watching. See you all in the next video.